everybody, I'm KayBeast, and for this week's art video I'm continuing my monthly Mythical Creatures series. So this month being the month of March and the beginning of spring, I really wanted to pick a creature that to me felt very spring-like, and I was really focused on the imagery of flowers. And when I was making my list earlier this year, I wound up really struggling to find a creature that I felt would fit it, and the only one that really came to mind was a fairy. So for this month I painted a fairy. And that actually wound up being very difficult for me because I'm not particularly fond of fairies. They're not one of my favorite creatures. Probably because of the simplicity of their design. They're a tiny person with wings traditionally, like bug wings, insect wings, you know, butterfly, dragonfly, whatever. But their design itself has always been so simple, and so I always got bored with it in terms of like artwork and stuff. But I literally could not think of anything else to use, so I just stuck with it. And because I wasn't really excited about the subject matter, I feel I didn't approach this one as well as I have the other two. But I managed to pull something together. What I wound up doing is I focused on the flower itself. I found a flower I really liked, and I focused her design around the flower. So the flower in question here is actually called Winter Daphne. Its scientific name is Daphne odora, and it's a small flowering plant. I think it's a bush or something, and it's native to Korea and like that area, and I picked it because I wanted to find a flowering plant that blooms in March. And this was one of the ones that came up when I did my Google search. So keeping that in mind, I drew the flowers as they are. They're small, they have 4 petals, and they grow in a little clump, and they're surrounded by these large broad leaves. And their coloring varies. They can be white, they can be purple, they can be bluish. The coloring kind of varies depending on where they are, and the strain and whatever. So I wound up going with a purple color, and I was originally going to do some lighter purples, but it got a little dark on me. But I kind of like the actual color palette that I got, the greens and the purples, and I went very cool tones with all of my shading. It's all blues and purples doing the actual shading, and some of my cooler yellow paints on the leaves and stuff. So when I was designing the fairy, I tried to push her farther from human by giving her green skin tones and purple hair to kind of have her match the actual flowering plant itself. And then for her facial features, to a point anyway, I tried to give her Korean features because of the plant being native to Korea. But yeah, like I said, fairies are not my favorite thing. I really didn't enjoy the subject matter as much as I have the other two, and I kind of did that to myself by sticking with fairy, but I literally could not think of any other mythical creature that I could associate with flowers in spring the same way. So the painting itself, like the technical aspects of the painting, I'm pretty happy with. I like the blending that I got, I like the colors that I got. I went with very softer shading with a lot of things, and my line art at the end, I used a sepia colored micron pen to do the line art to kind of give it a softer look than using black lines, which I'm doing right now. And I started with my small fine liners and then I was going to build up the line weight like that, but it was taking way too long, so I just took out a brush pen and said screw it. I'm not going over these lines a million times. And I do enjoy brush pens. I just wanted the lines to be thinner, but it would have taken too long. And I got some pretty good control with the felt tip brush pen here, so I was still pretty happy with how my lines turned out. And then at the end, I decided to add a little bit of, shimmer and everything, because you know me, I do love my Finetec's. And on the actual things in the flowers themselves, I think they're called stamen, I think is the name for them. In the center of the flowers, which were yellow, on my reference picture, I used my Arabic gold Finetec, which is the center gold piece in the gold set, to do those. And then I made her eyes gold, and then I used the silver for the wings. And I would have gone in and actually drawn the actual scales of the wings themselves, but insect wings have always been like one of the most difficult things for me to draw. They always turn out terrible, and I can never get the actual scales to look good, so I didn't even try. because I was already fed up with a lot of this to begin with. I was like, I'm not going to make it harder for myself. And while I wasn't as excited about the subject matter as I wanted to be, my friends actually came over today. My girlfriend and my best friend came over today and saw it, and they all thought it was really pretty, and they were really happy with it, so that made me feel better about it. But I think next time for a project like this, I really need to not, shoehorn myself with something I'm not excited about. But I still managed to pull to get the piece together. So I hope you guys liked it. Tell me what you think, and I will definitely push myself a little harder for next month's Mythical Creature. I'm already researching it, like, right now, so I'm gonna do the next one way better. But that does it for this week's video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.